think I opened up any other gift. It didn't really matter after that. The drums were pretty much what everything was about that Christmas morning, and it continued on throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, and college, so much so that by the time I even went to college and majored in drum set performance, I was known as Percussion Man. And that's what everybody knew me as. You know, Ryan Tremblay, the drummer, the guy who wants to grow up and play in arenas, in stadiums, and play behind well-known artists, right? That's what I often spoke of as my dream. And I was so sure that that dream was going to come true that I guess I never doubted. And in some ways, I never really questioned the path as to what steps to take either. And I knew, let's say, I knew that school was important. As I mentioned, I majored in jazz studies, drum set performance, and it seems as if you look at a lot of well-known musicians' trajectories, many of them have gone to prestigious schools. So I thought that school was the way. I'll tell you a little bit more about that story after I show you this picture. This was a band out of Boston that I played in called the Ultrasonic Rock Orchestra. And I joined up with them when I was 16 years old, and I played with them from the age of 16 to about 20, 21. And as you can see, it was a huge band. It was about, 10 singers out front with a 7-piece band in the back. And you might be wondering, that's great, where's Ryan? There I am. Way in the back, and I was wearing sort of a getup that reminded the people who produced the show of the gentleman from Clockwork Orange. It was kind of an awful costume, so I won't even show you the close-up of it. But I have to tell you that at the end of the night, we played in front of crowds as large as, I think 7,000 was the largest audience I had played in front of with them. And I thought to myself, well, you would think that I had it all in those moments in front of those crowds, but I have to be honest, when I used to wave goodbye to the audiences at the end of the evening, I thought to myself, something doesn't feel quite right. Something is missing. I'm waving to them, they're enjoying the show, but I feel like I'm playing a part. And I feel like I'm playing a part that's not authentically me. I couldn't have told you that at the time, but that's ultimately what it felt like. And right around that time, melodies started to come to me. And one of the melodies that came to me, it went like this. Lyrics and melodies began to come to me, and it was, who am I without you? Who am I without you? It was kind of haunting in a way because it was a season where I was deeply searching for who I was, and what ended up happening was that band ended up not needing a percussionist anymore, so I was out of a job, in a sense, as a percussionist, but the melody came right at the time when my schedule freed up. So I was no longer bound by this band. I was no longer bound by the thing that wasn't feeling comfortable anyway, and that's when the melodies began to flow. So lo and behold, I stayed local. I went to a local school, went to a local college, because my sister encouraged me to do that. She said, you have so much going for you. I don't believe that you need the school to make you who you are. I think you are enough with who you are. Just keep on going. And then my dad, who's a guitarist and a vocalist, the keyboard player in his band, happened to be a Grammy-nominated songwriter. So I took this little seed of an idea to him, and he said, I think you have something. And furthermore, I think you should be a Christian recording artist. And I said, what on earth are you talking about? How do you see this? And it kind of was freaking me out on the way home. I'm like, this new calling that he sees in me, like what's... So we continued to meet, and can I play for you all what ended up becoming of that little idea? Would you like to hear it? All right. I'm going to call up my beautiful wife, Elizabeth Tremblay, who's going to back me up on this song, and all the other songs too tonight. How about a hand for Elizabeth? This one's called, Who Am I Without You? Who am I without you? I am someone who I'm not. Living out my story, trying to play my part. Who am I without you? Just a beggar without me. Looking for my real life, but lost here in my dreams. How can I see the road ahead when I don't know what is true? I only know I cannot get there without you. Who am I without you? Just a stranger to the light. Living in the darkness, wanting more than what's inside. Who am I without you? I am someone who I'm not. Someone I don't want to be, someone who forgot. How can I see the road ahead when I don't know what is true? I only know I cannot get there without you. Oh, band of angels, hear my prayer. Oh, band of angels on high. Oh, band of angels, take me home. Oh, band of angels by and by. Oh, band of angels, hear my prayer. Oh, band of angels on high. Oh, band of angels, take me home. Oh, band of angels by and by. Thank you so much. I think that's the first time we've ever sang those lines. It just occurred to me in Tennessee. Oh, band of angels, hear my prayer. Oh, band of angels on high. Oh, band of angels, take me home. Oh, band of angels by and by. Tennessee certainly is home now, and we love it here. So very, very special to have been able to sing that for you tonight. We're going to, speaking of angels, we're going to jump right into the next song, and we're going to explain how the angels have guided my path and our path to one another shortly after this song. This one's called I'm Coming Back to You. Feel free to clap along and sing along. We'll teach it to you. I spent some time away. I spent some time alone. I thought I could make it all on my own. But now I see where I went wrong. I'm sorry, Lord, it's been too long. I'm coming back to you with all of my heart. I've had my fill of living life in the dark. I'm coming back to you. Don't let me fall. You're all I have, and I hear you call. I'm coming back to you. Feel free to put your hands together. Kathy already knows the word. She studied before the concert. I love it. Here we go. Life is hard when times are tough. I call on you, Lord, your grace is enough. Life is hard, but life is good. Yes, it is. 'Cause you help me to see the world like I should. I'm coming back to you with all of my heart. I've had my fill of living life in the dark. I'm coming back to you. Don't let me fall. You're all I have, and I hear you call. Now repeat after me, you'll see how it works. I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you with all of my heart, with all of my heart. I've had my fill of living life in the dark. I'm coming back to you. Don't let me fall. You're all I have, and I hear you call. I'm coming back to you. 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 I love it. Y'all sound great. Kathy, that was great. I looked out, I'm like, Kathy already knows it. This is awesome. So without further ado, I am going to introduce you to another special woman in my life, Auntie Chris, otherwise known as Sister Mary Agnes. She also happens to be my godmother. So this is Auntie Chris, Sister Mary Agnes. My parents knew I was going to get into a lot of trouble, so they said, we better make sure the future nun is going to be his godmother. Then we're all set. She'll be praying for him every day. And this is actually Auntie Chris, pre-nun, pre-being in the habit of being a nun. This is her in a cocktail dress, blue cocktail dress. That's me. She's holding me at my baptism. And, I'm so glad you guys find these pictures endearing, because now, especially since the triplets have come along, and this is especially why we saved them for the last night, nobody really cares about my story anymore. It's all about the kids. So thank you for indulging me in my childhood. Now that it's officially all about the kids, just ask my mother-in-law and my mother. And that's my godfather there, Uncle Myron. Who actually built a house for us in Rhode Island that we no longer live in. He's a carpenter and a great man. It was actually my aunt, Auntie Chris, who said, Ryan, I know you're soul searching, right? You've got this sort of identity crisis going on, if you will. Am I a rock star? Am I a college student? Am I this? Am I that? Where do I belong? She said, I want you to read a book called Rome Sweet Home. And I thought, oh, that's a catchy title, Rome Sweet Home. Okay, cool. And then I checked out the cover, and I was like, wow, this book looks epic. I mean, I got to jump into this, right? Little did I know that I was in for a life change, probably, the most significant life change. Well, not the most significant, but one of the most significant, certainly. And one of the reasons is because the book talks all about, how many of you have read the book, Rome Sweet Home? Okay, so it's actually written by a husband and wife, Scott and Kimberly Hahn, right? And they weren't cradle Catholics. They were actually, I think, Presbyterian. And so they were searching too and asking ultimate questions, who am I? What am I here for? And they thought Catholicism was like the furthest thing from the answer, for them in terms of the truth. And then all their research, all their studies and questioning led them home to Catholicism, hence Rome Sweet Home and the sacramental journey of the church. And so for me, it was pretty simple to take a look at their journey and say, okay, my parents didn't mess it up. I'm actually in the right church, even though sometimes it feels like, when you're a kid, you'd rather be anywhere else than, stuck in the pews. And I said, so what's next? And then the frightening part came to mind, and that was that I hadn't been to confession in 6 years, right? And so I said, all right, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to see if this Catholic faith is really all it's cracked up to be. I've kind of gone through the motions of everything else, but it's been a while since my last confession, and there's a lot that I need to confess, okay? It's been 6 years, and so I made a laundry list of sins, and you can see here there's a packet called How to Make a Good Confession. That's the packet that I picked up. There was a packet right next to it called How to Make a Bad Confession, but I figured I would just leave that one alone, so I went with that. And that right there is Father D'Ambrosia, who heard my first confession in 6 years. And after the 45-minute confession, that's him at a Hawaiian luau, but that was about the expression on his face after the 45-minute confession. And it was one of those things where, I finished, and he said, is that it? I'm like, well, yeah, that's it. He's like, okay, and he gave me some advice, and then he absolved me of the sins, and then I was on my way. And I just remember leaving the chapel that day after doing the penance with a giant weight lifted off of my shoulders. And I thought, this is amazing. How come nobody has ever told me about this? Like, hello? And there I am in Coventry, Rhode Island, like out in the woods, and I'm just like, does anybody know how cool this is? This is great. And then I remember going to band rehearsals afterwards and just sitting there on the drum stool, mainly playing drums for people, and being like, everything's changed now. I'm hearing things differently. My mind is clearer. It's like I'm on a new mission somehow connected to that moment. Everything was different, right? And then if I ever found myself falling back into old patterns, it was really just a matter of going back and kind of getting up again, right? Each time. And so it was really a sweet moment when I could actually meet Dr. Scott Hahn in Massachusetts with Liz. We were courting at the time, and Dr. Hahn did a great presentation in Massachusetts, and I eagerly told him afterwards, like, your book changed my life, and he gets that a lot, apparently. I wasn't the first to tell him that, but he was really excited, and I actually just saw him in Nashville not too long ago at the cathedral, and it was wonderful. But really, that whole experience taught me that nobody loves us like Jesus. I mean, I get it, especially now as parents. We're busy people, and sometimes we can't even be present to the journey that we're presenting to our children because we're in the midst of being present to so many other logistical things. That's why there's a beauty of having the priests and sisters and a whole church, global church around us, right? It's so beautiful. But when you see that nobody loves you like Jesus. He's present to us now. He was present to us then. He always has been, and especially when you take a look at the crucifix and you see how painful that sort of death is, right? And the fact that he endured it and would have endured it not just for all of us, but even if it were just for one of us, he would have done it. That's how personal he wants his relationship with us to be, right? And so it's something that I have to remind myself of every day. And when I was looking for song titles as a young Christian artist, everything that I'm playing for you tonight for the most part is off my first album called My Life with You, meaning my life with Jesus and also my life with you, literally, as I share it here today. But when I was looking for titles, I asked my dad, I said, "Dad, do you have any titles?" He said, "How about Nobody Loves You Like Jesus?" And I thought, that's good, I'm taking it. And so I wrote this song, and I'd like to call up my beautiful wife to come sing this one with me here. And this is a picture that we love of Jesus holding an infant in his hands. And no matter how old we are or how old we get, I love how Father Emmanuel just called us children, before we started the mission, because that's just a great reminder that we're all God's children, no matter what. So this one's called Nobody Loves Me Like Jesus, and there is a part for you to sing along at the end. So it's kind of a beatboxing part. I think you guys will dig it. Here we go. Nobody loves me like Jesus. No one on earth. No matter where the road leads or how hard I search, nobody loves me like Jesus out here in the wild. He is my Savior, and I am his child. In the deepest, darkest night, out here on my own, I can feel him stand with me, and I'm no longer alone. Nobody loves me like Jesus, no one on earth. No matter where the road leads or how hard I search, nobody loves me like Jesus out here in the wild. He is my Savior, and I am his child. Look into your baby's eyes. Tell me who could ask for more. As for me, God's love has washed away everything that came before. Nobody loves me like Jesus, no one on earth. No matter where the road leads or how hard I search, nobody loves me like Jesus out here in the wild. He is my Savior, and I am his child. Yes, he is my Savior, and I am his child. All right, now everybody, here's your part. It's one word, and it goes like this. It's nobody. Just repeat after us, okay? Here we go. Nobody, 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 nobody. Keep it going. So now all of you have to sign up for the choir here on Sundays, because now we know everybody can sing here in the pews. Everybody should be with us Saturday and Sunday now. You guys sounded great. This is one of my favorite parts of the evening, whenever I can introduce Elizabeth singing the Ave Maria, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Liz is going to do her beautiful a cappella rendition of this song, and we hope you all enjoy it.
I just want to say, so this is in Latin. Who here has heard the Ave Maria? Yes, okay, so it's in Latin, and I don't know if you knew this, but the translation is the Hail Mary. So as I sing this, if you could just reflect on the words of the Hail Mary, it will be all that much more prayerful for you. So this is for our Blessed Mother. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And now for my rendition of the same song. Just kidding. I'm not I'm not going to follow that. And sorry about the lighting. I'm actually looking in back to see how well lit we are. We'll probably change things up for tomorrow a little bit so we can be even more well lit. You look beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
It's all me. It's all me, just in terms of the poor lighting. But I actually heard Elizabeth sing rather the Ave Maria back in 2004. That's when we first met almost 20 years ago, and I was playing drums for the children that she was teaching at a voice studio. I would be called in as the guest drummer for these recitals, and it was always just very casual between Liz and I would just say oftentimes, "Hey, what's up, Liz? Good to see you," among many other people. And then every time it seemed that Liz would have an opportunity to do a solo, for whatever reason, those songs didn't have drums. So I would just have to sit there and watch her sing, and have to, get to, really. It was a privilege. And but I remember the first time, I think the first show we did, it was the Ave Maria that Liz sang, and everybody loved it, including myself. And so I always kept that in mind. And let's fast forward a little here from 2004 to yeah, that was it. I just I really fast forwarded there, huh? That was a quick transition. I skipped everything, but I kept that moment in mind, and it was actually, you may be wondering how we got to that moment, right? That's us on our wedding day in 2014 at my home parish of Saints John and Paul in Coventry, Rhode Island, and you can see we had 3 priests. It was Father Paul, Father John, and Father Kelly. What's Father Kelly's first name? Do you remember? Michael. Yeah, Father Ringo wasn't available, so we were almost close to the Beatles with the fatherly lineup. But at any rate, the priests that blessed us, they said some mighty prayers, I think, that day, of course, with what was to come. And my dad was my best man at my wedding. You can't really see him; he's kind of cut off in the picture there. But I wanted him to be my best man, and basically what happened was in 2012, Liz and I reconnected at a young adult mass that the Diocese of Providence was having, and I had just gotten done going to confession and saying, I think, a decade or the rosary maybe for my penance, and so I was clean, and I was pure, and I was holy as I was going to be for the moment that it was about to take place. So there I am praying away, just get done and kind of sit back in the pew. Then all of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it was Liz. And she's like, "Hi!" Like, "Oh my gosh, Liz, what's up?" And she said, "Oh, nothing, not much." And she was alone. It was just her. And you don't mind me sharing, love, that at one point between 2004 and 2012,
there were a lot of things that happened between that time. Yes.
And a marriage was one of those things. And so Liz had been previously, married. And I kind of sort of maybe knew that at the time when we were...
It was annulled, just to put that out there.
Yeah. Yes. Marriage was annulled.
You're here in Catholic Church.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, no, it was never annulled. And we just ran to Vegas, and here we are. No, it was annulled, yes. And but anyway, she told me in 2012, she said, "I don't know if you heard the news," she said, "but I got a divorce." I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And inside I was like, "Yes! This is great!" And so I asked her out to the social after the Mass. They had like donuts and all that good stuff, kind of like what we have here, after Mass. And I was like, "Yeah, all right, first date already, right after Mass." So anyway, our first actual date was the priests, the priests in concert, the 3 priests from...
They're like singing priests from Ireland.
Yeah.
We were really edgy.
That's right. I had an extra ticket. I said, "Come on, you want to go?" And so we sat there and listened to it. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And then we ended up just, continuing to court. And when actually the annulment, when we knew that everything had officially gone through there, again, we were courting, but just discerning whether or not we should be married. But when that annulment came through on November 21st, I proposed to Liz on November 22nd, the Feast of St. Cecilia musicians, the patron saint of musicians. And I started off the show with, Will You Marry Me, specifically for Liz. It's a single that I have out there. I highly recommend it if anybody wants to get married. And thank God she said yes, because if she didn't, that concert would have went a whole nother way. So the rest is history, sort of. I would say that's how we got to that moment right there. And then what happened after that is what really probably will blow your mind. So we're going to play you a quick video of that.
All week long, we're bringing you in-depth coverage of Pope Francis in America. The Pontiff's historic visit to the U.S. is less than a week away.
And now we're taking a look at how the Pope has touched the lives of Rhode Islanders, including a Middletown couple blessed by the Pope, who, against all medical odds, received 3 little blessings of their own not long after.
Eyewitness News anchor Danielle North is here. The story you'll see only on Eyewitness News.
This is truly a remarkable story. Liz and Ryan Tremblay were told that they had at best a 1 to 2% chance of conceiving a baby. But after that chance meeting with the Pope and that special papal blessing, they received what they're calling a miracle times 3.
I have to say, it was probably the most incredible moment in our lives.
Liz and Ryan Tremblay look back on their moment with Pope Francis at the Vatican with humor and amazement.
I was almost waiting for that, something almost magical to happen.
But little did this Middletown couple know something magical was going to happen. Only a few weeks after their visit to Rome, they would also receive a gift and news that would shock not only them, but some of their doctors as well.
We weren't expecting it, and then when we went for the ultrasound, and they had told us that there were triplets, it just blew our minds. We were like, oh my gosh, how did this happen?
Now, months later, the Tremblays are the proud parents of these 3 beautiful baby boys, Andrew, Elliot, and Nicholas. The triplets were born back on August 20th, and after weeks in the NICU, they're all home and thriving. The Tremblays change 24 diapers a day, have numerous feedings, and like any new parents, they have moments that are challenging trying to care for these newborns. But even after an almost sleepless night, the couple could not hide their happiness and excitement at the thought of the millions of other Americans who get a chance to see Pope Francis in America next week.
Your life has changed once you met him.
It's absolutely a blessing that he's coming here, and I think he's just going to have such a wonderful, lasting impact on the country.
I think everybody's going to be touched by it. Everybody.
And because this couple was so touched by the Pope, they honored the Pontiff in their own special way. Their baby Elliot was given the middle name Francis. I'm Danielle North, Eyewitness News.
A very beautiful family. Well, the Tremblays tell us they conceived the babies naturally. And next week, my colleague Danielle North will be in Washington, D.C. when the Pope begins his U.S. trip. I'll bring you even more coverage of the Pontiff's stop in Philadelphia. And please stay with Eyewitness News. Our in-depth coverage of Pope Francis in America continues all this week. Ahead of his trip to the East Coast, we'll bring you more stories on how he's touched the lives of Rhode Islanders.
And there you have it. Now, they call it natural family planning. I think I need to have a meeting with the Vatican about how natural family planning really is, because I wouldn't say that triplets, there's anything natural about that. That's just crazy. And but no, that picture was actually, yes, us with Pope Francis. That is not photoshopped. And by the way, I just married 1 bride, not 2. This is Liz to my right in that picture, and that's another gentleman's wife to the right of us. There were like 40 other couples that got married or had their marriage blessed by the Pope that day. So it was just, the photographer did the best he could. But I only married Liz that day. And you can see that Pope Francis has something in his hand. He gave us the marital blessing, and then he went on to go to that next couple, and I said, wait, Pope Francis, I said, I have a gift for you. And he put his hand to his heart, and he said, for me? And And I said, yes, for you. And I gave him my CD. And I said, that will be $10. He never gave me the money. He gave it to some guy, representing him, some fancy security guard, and then went on to the next couple, and that was the last I ever heard from him. But no, it was really, truly a remarkable moment with him. And I've at least corresponded a little bit when I've played at World Youth Day. In 2016, I played at World Youth Day. In 2019, I played at World Youth Day. 2023, this summer, World Youth Day is happening again. And I don't know if we've gotten selected yet to play, but this time I put in for me and Liz and the boys to play together instead of just me as a soloist. So if we could ever reconnect with Pope Francis as a family, that would be awesome. And then I'll just give him the next album and ask for another time. There's been a few that have come out since then, but this trip was sponsored by my in-laws. We were in no position to put ourselves up for a trip when we first got married to go to Rome, to go to Italy. But I think my mother-in-law just wanted grandbabies so much that she was just like, go, have a good time. And so we got those odds, those statistics that we weren't going to have a kid when we came back from that honeymoon. We got those statistics at least 6 months later. And then a couple of months later, after your mother booked a family cruise and booked another vacation, that's when the kiddos were conceived. And there you have it, baby A, baby B, and baby C. That's the ultrasound. Andrew, Nicholas, and Elliot, and they will be here. On Friday night. That's just a picture I love of Liz, and again, just to prove that I only married her, just one bride. And then there's a family picture of us. So that's from a while back, and now they're just growing at a rate that's scary, and and they're eating everything. But we wrote a song for the little guys called "My Three Sons," and we'd love to sing it for you now. Ready, love? Here we go. I can still see you. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Triple the joy, triple the tears, triple the love, triple the fears, triple the fun, triple the thrills, triple the laughter, triple the bills. 1, 2, 3, what's happened to me? We prayed for a child, and God gave us 3. 3, 2, 1, yeah, life has begun. Ready or not, with my 3 sons. Now I don't get much sleep, day or night. Those days are memories, but it's alright. A tiny little voice, a precious little smile, many sweet moments make it worthwhile. 1, 2, 3, what's happened to me? We prayed for a child, and God gave us 3. 3, 2, 1, yeah, life has begun. Ready or not, with my 3 sons. 24 diapers a day. Lots of work, lots of play. I don't want it any other way. How amazing life is. What is better than this? Watching love go on and on and on and on and on. 1, 2, 3, what's happened to me? We prayed for a child, and God gave us 3. 3, 2, 1, yeah, life has begun. Ready or not, with my 3 sons. Ready or not, with
ivory sons. Ready or not, God praise sons.
Thank you all so much. We actually have a fun number we like to do for you right now. This one's called Talk to Him, and it's a gospel number that I actually wrote with my dad. So if everybody could kindly stand up, maybe do a little bit of a seventh inning stretch here. Does anybody swing dance in the audience? No? Yes? What? You said it's been a few years? You said it's been a few years? Oh, nice. You got to bring him back tomorrow and Friday, and we'll relive those all together. But this one's called Talk to Him. And Liz, why don't we get everybody going here on the same page? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Talk to Him, call out His name. If you tell Him your troubles, He ease your pain. Open the door and let Him all in. Don't be afraid now, let the healing begin. Wrong solutions are pleasure and pride, so give it all to Jesus Christ. He is the one who knows where you stand. Threw himself when He became man. Now talk to Him, call out His name. If you tell Him your troubles, He'll ease your pain. Open the door and let Him all in. Don't be afraid now, let the healing begin. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wrong solutions are pleasure and pride, so give it all to Jesus Christ. For He is the one who knows where you stand. Threw himself when He became there. Now talk to Him, call out His name. You tell Him your troubles, He ease your pain. Open the door and let Him all in. Don't be afraid now, let the healing begin. Don't be afraid now, let the healing, let that healing begin.
We love it. You may be seated. A little bit of testimony before dreams come true.
So Ryan had mentioned, kind of in a silly way about what I had gone through. And during those years, it was anything but silly, as many of you can imagine. I know we've all gone through our share of heartache and sorrow and pain. And sometimes it feels like, is God really there? Is God really listening to us? And I know when I was going through the marriage, the failed marriage, and there were some significant mental health issues going on that could not be resolved, and ultimately ended in divorce and then an annulment. And when, during that time, I was thinking, I was praying, I was constantly praying, constant prayer, and I was crying out in anguish, in sorrow, in pain, and in anger, just saying, God, why is this happening? I don't understand it. And I just just remember thinking, is he even listening? And month after month, year after year would go by, and I think, is God really hearing me at all? And sometimes it just feels like you're alone in certain situations, and it's hard to make sense of it all. And now, I went through the divorce moment, and I met Ryan, and not that life is roses now, because there's certainly struggles now.
Well, wait a second. Wait a second. That's not supposed to be part of the night. It's all roses, all the time. You may continue.
Anyway, so I look back on that time, the time of struggle, and I can identify certain times that I know God was answering my prayer through friends, through family, through scripture verses I may have come upon, through prayers that were given to me, through other people. There's certain situations that just opened doors for me. And I know he was listening, but it took that, that time to look back on and say, wow, yeah, God was listening to me that whole time. And I think it's just good for us to reflect on, as we're praying for certain situations or difficulties in our lives, to think about our whole lives and how he has blessed us every step of the way. There's just so many joys in our lives and pain. And you think, okay, I went through this, I went through these struggles, was God there? Yes, he was there. And I think you can probably identify it in your lives, that God was there in those times of struggle. And I think that helps me get through certain situations now. When I think, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this? I mean, moving here was huge for us. It was a big struggle, and there were a variety of reasons why we moved, and but it was not really welcomed, that idea, by my family, by my extended family. Why we would move away from my parents and his parents, and but we really felt a calling. We felt a real strong calling by the Lord, that we needed to move down here. And it was difficult. It was very difficult. And I have to remember, again, all of those struggles that I went through, and then know that God was with me every step of the way, and God continues to be with us every step of the way. And never give up in prayer. Be persistent in prayer. Always pray. Always pray. We always, thank the Lord first for those blessings along the way. We always thank God for those blessings, but then be persistent in prayer in what we're asking Him, whether it be for ourselves or our loved ones, what we're praying for. Something that I did recently was a Marian consecration. I don't know if that's familiar to any of you, but I highly recommend it. I did it through there's a book that you can purchase, 33 Days to Morning Glory, and it's a Marian consecration where you're devoting, devoting yourself to Jesus through Mary. And that Ave Maria that I had sung is very special to me, because I've always had a devotion to Mary, and so this Marian consecration really has helped me in my prayer life, in my journey, my faith life. And again, things are not perfect, and I still have struggles, and I have that rock in Jesus and Mary, who intercedes, that I can rely on to know that I am never alone, and that Jesus is always hearing my prayers, always. And with that, here is Ryan. And this was a huge blessing, unexpected blessing that came into my life, Ryan, and then our children, just so unexpected. And again, looking back and thinking, gosh, is this the end? Is this the end? No, there's always new beginnings in our lives. So.
And in some ways, Liz and I were singing the same song, and we didn't even know it. This is a song that I had written for the first album that was released in 2010, and Liz came to one of my concerts, I forgot to mention, that's really another way we reconnected after we met at that young adult mass. She began to stalk me politely and come to my shows, and no, she came to see me perform, and this was probably a song I did that night, and little did I know I was dedicating it to her, and she was probably dedicating it to me. But this one's called "Dream Come True." I've been waiting for love to show me a sign, searching for something so hard to find. Where are you? My dream come true. So many lonely prayers and nothing yet to show. And when love finally comes my way, how will I know? Where are you? My dream come true. Jesus, won't you tell me what this means? Could love be as fragile as it seems? I just can't believe that is true. And I believe in love, and I believe in you. My love, if you're out there waiting for our dance, I'm so lost without you, but I'm praying for my chance. Where are you? My dream come true. Oh, where are you? My dream come true. And Liz jumped out of the pew at the concert and said, "It's me! I'm the one you've been waiting for! I'm your dream come true!" I'm just kidding. That didn't happen that way. She made me work for it a little bit. But that song is actually and was featured in a movie called Courageous Love. And for any of you who had heard me up at the AMBO making an announcement about what the third night of this mission is called, it's in fact called Courageous Love. By no coincidence, but you're going to hear our story on Friday night about moving here and some of the details and some of the songs that were inspired by that journey and whatnot. But for any of you who are interested in that song or any of the other songs you've heard this evening on my album, My Life With You, that one exists, Dream Come True. And then on Courageous Love, the movie, Dream Come True is featured as that couple. You'll see them out there on the merch table. As they fall in love, they actually have their first dance in the movie to that song. And it's really, really special that it happens to that moment. It's kind of funny to sing in back of a dance scene like that, a love scene, and it's completely clean, totally family friendly, totally appropriate, which made my mom very happy, and Liz too. But do we have actually some of the merchandise here? Oh, look at that, we do. So I was going to say, Courageous Love, the movie. Here it is. This couple that I mentioned, they're on the front. They dance to the song "Dream Come True." This is $10 here. That DVD, and this is "My Life with You," the debut album of mine. It's a much younger Ryan there, 22 years old instead of 35. And "Dream Come True" is track number 8, and this is also $10. So there's a special tonight. You can have both for $20. And then I know I'm so generous, and then you get the "Will You Marry Me" single for free, which is normally $5.
Pope Francis didn't get the "Will You Marry Me" CD.
He did not, and it was out, but We didn't give it to him. That's these are those two items there: the My Life with You CD and then the Courageous Love DVD. Nice compliment to one another. And actually, Will You Marry Me is free with any purchase of any disc. So this is the Will You Marry single. Will You Marry Me single. I call it the single for people who don't want to be single anymore. So it works. The reason it's $5 is because you have to think twice before you buy it, and you also have to think twice before you play it for somebody. And this is the Trust EP that tomorrow is all about. Tomorrow's theme, we're going to talk to you about my sister's story, and really that just deserves a whole night on its own. And we're going to dig into some of the songs for you on that, such as Amazing Grace, You're the One I Love, Until We Meet Again, Oh Mama, that one's for my mom. My Three Sons, which we played tonight, that's on this album here. And then finally, Trust. And this was produced by Rich Spielberg, who is on the road right now with Bruce Springsteen. And he's toured with and worked with Josh Groban, Ringo Starr, David Foster. He's just worked with so many incredible people. And we actually met Rich in the NICU when Liz was giving. Yes. Neonatal intensive care unit. Yes, NICU. It's where premature babies go to basically get taken care of. And I asked them if they could just keep our kids till they were 18 because they seemed to be doing a great job. But they said we had to take them home. So it was nice to just visit and be free of all responsibility. But we met Rich. He was having twin boys at the time. We were having triplets. So 2 guys in the NICU. What else do you do except strike up a conversation? You know? And I said, "You look like a musician." He said, "I am. I happen to play for Josh Groban." I was like, "What?" So he produced this album that's dedicated to my sister. So I think you guys will really love tomorrow night. I think you'll really love Friday night. The story will just expand. And hopefully you guys, as Father Emmanuel always says, if you can bring a friend, bring a family member. If we double the audience tonight, that would be amazing. And then triple it on Friday, that'd be amazing. And, regardless, hopefully at least somebody shows up tomorrow night. But regardless, even if it's just us all 3 nights, I think it's going to be amazing for you guys to just see how the challenges that we've been through as a family over the past decade or more really can be offered up. And once the kids join us on Friday night, it's going to be a ball. So we hope you guys are there for those nights. Merchandise will be available. All of the merchandise will be available tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. And then last thing I want to do is just mention Food for the Hungry. Elizabeth and I actually partner with a ministry. We support this ministry, and in turn, they support us when we are on tour. So what that means is that we actually sponsor 2 children per month who are affiliated with this organization, this ministry. And so just as an example here, these aren't the 2 children we sponsor, but there's Alyssa. She's 11 years old and was born in 2011. And he lives in Burundi. And Christopher is 11, and he was born in 2011, and he lives in Uganda. And basically, by sponsoring these children, you partner with this organization to provide the essential needs for these children on a daily basis. And what's so cool is you can become like a pen pal to them. So you have an ongoing relationship with them, and you get to see them grow. And I think it's been at least a few years now since we've been sponsoring these 2 precious children of our own there through this organization. And it's a little more than $1 a day. So I think it's like $38 a month. So I understand that might not be in some people's budget or view, or plan, long-term, short-term. But if any of you happen to be open to something like that, it's something we benefit a lot from. And what I was going to say is we continue to receive correspondence from Food for the Hungry with updated pictures of our little boy and little girl that we sponsor, and it's just really life-giving, and our kids, benefit a lot from it as well, because they see us giving each month. In addition to our parish giving, they see us giving to this organization, and I think it's a testament. It's a testament to them and the great work that they do. And so hopefully our kids are more generous because they see that as well. So if you have kids or grandkids or you're interested in inspiring them, this is kind of a neat way to do it. So if anybody's interested, there's no pressure to sponsor a child. Right now, I know sometimes at concerts they'll say, raise your hand and I'll come out and pass the packets. It's one of those things where if you feel it's on your heart, pray about it. You can see us at the merch table. Again, it will be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, but each night I just want to make a small mention of it because they do support us out here on tour and help subsidize some of the costs as well when we go to places. It's essentially what makes us able to do things at a very affordable rate wherever we go, right? It's like one hand washing the other. So we appreciate them, and I know that they appreciate you guys too. So if anybody feels called, feel free to see us at the table, and that will be available. And then if you loved Liz's rendition of the Ave Maria, if you love some of the songs you hear that we do over the next few nights that aren't available in CD form just yet, because we haven't put them to print just yet, you can look us up on Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify. You can literally tell Alexa, play Elizabeth Tremblay, Ave Maria, and she will sing it for you like in your kitchen. So it's a beautiful rendition that's available.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So yeah, there's an orchestra backing her up on the studio version, so you'll definitely want to check that out. And there's more to come over the next couple of nights. How many of you guys are interested? After I say no pressure about Food for the Hungry, how many of you are interested in coming back over the next couple of nights? Awesome, excellent. It'll be great to see you. Bring a friend, bring an enemy, bring anybody. Frankly, we'll love on them and we'll have a good time. This one's called My Life with You. This is the last song we're gonna do. We hope you guys enjoy it.
I hear your voice, you call my name. You are the one I belong to. You speak to me when I'm in need. You are the one I turn to. When there is fear, when there is doubt, you are the one I run to. When I'm alone, you're there for me. You are the home I come to. Nothing else can make me feel the same way that you do. And that's my life with you. Through the wind and through the rain, from the deserts to the shores, through the fear and through the pain, I'm yours, I'm yours. I hear your voice, you call my name. You are the one I belong to. Nothing else can make me feel the same way that you do. And that's my life with you. Yeah, that's my life with you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. And it feels so good to say thank you all in a place where that's appropriate. I mean, we were practicing on Rhode Island audiences, and it just wasn't the same before we moved. So thank you all for coming out tonight, and we cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow and Friday, and then I'll be here Saturday and Sunday, so you'll get a taste of what Liz's life is like every single day with me, and pretty much. So we can't wait to see you guys tomorrow night. God bless you all, and if anybody knows about the Dave Ramsey method, does anybody know about the Dave Ramsey baby step method? Excellent. We're on baby step 2 still. So if anybody wants to purchase merchandise, that's exactly where it's going. Baby step 2. You help to support the family. So thank you so much. We love you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Refreshments. Ooh.